Hello everybody and welcome to Dream Team Tonic.
Anything that surprises you on the list?
Yeah, it's a different list. Hello everybody and welcome to Dream Team Tonic episode 27. We're getting to the nitty gritty now. We're getting to the business end. With me, as usual, is our co-host Ben. You there, Ben?
How you doing?
All right, mate. You there, James?
I'm here, Tony.
Happy days. All three of us are here. It's been quite a weekend so far. It's a very, very busy week. We're not even halfway through, which is a little bit strange on a Sunday evening. But what we'll do is we'll crack on with how our teams have done so far, any transfers we've made, and then we'll delve into some listener questions and see what the worries or plans are of others. So straight into my team so far. I've made 2 transfers. A choice of some people didn't want to make the risk of taking Kane out. I did. I already had Greenwood, so I went for Mo Salah. So Kane out, Salah in. It paid off so far. It was a 2-for-1 at the time. And I also made the brave move of taking Kevin De Bruyne out as well and putting Trent Alexander-Arnold in, which again paid off so far. Obviously, as the weeks go on, we'll see if they're wise moves. The 2 of the biggest hitters in Dream Team, possibly. So they are brave moves, but I think the moves that were probably worthwhile with Liverpool's fixture against Southampton, and obviously they've got United coming up this week, where Spurs and City don't have another game, and Kevin De Bruyne were left out of the squad. It's gone all right this week. I've climbed. Decent returns. Azpilicueta and Mendy both got a return. Maguire a little bit of a letdown, -1 with a yellow card. Fernandes penalty. Just standard. Foden come off the bench, but it couldn't quite make a mark. Mount wasn't in the squad. Heung-min Son, obviously that were a little bit of a backup with taking Kane out. I still had Son to play, so I wasn't that worried. He got me a goal and 8 points. Greenwood scored the second for United, got 8 points, and Mo Salah got an assist. So overall, so far, 47 points for the week. Obviously, a long way to go, but I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Onto your team, Ben.
I was just going to say, that Son move, could you not afford Son to Salah then? Or was it you wanted to keep Son for that fixture?
No, I couldn't afford. Obviously, to be fair, I did the same with the other teams. I actually took out Kane. Where I had Son, I took out Kane. Watching Kane over the last few weeks, how far he drops off, and I just think the threat is actually becoming Bale and Son when all 3 of them play. I know he was quite unlucky. I think he should have had a couple of goals maybe, but in this particular team it was the value, but in the other teams I did the same. So if I had the money, I don't think I'd have took out Son. Right. I kept him for. It could have gone completely wrong, but it just paid off in this instance.
Yeah.
So go on to your team, Ben. How did yours do, mate?
38 points. I did 1 transfer when I seen Kevin De Bruyne wasn't in the starting lineup. I panicked. I was out shopping. Nightmare. I was out shopping. I thought, have I got time to get home? I didn't have time to get home, so I've done the transfers in my car. It's a nightmare. That's the only thing about this dream team, that you've got to be on the ball all the time. You've got to be like checking the lineups. And another thing as well with Chelsea keep messing the lineups as well, because I've got Chilwell, and he said on my FootMob app, it said Chilwell was playing, and that was 5-2, 5-2 when 5 to kick off anyway. And Chilwell wasn't playing. I probably wouldn't have took him out because I've got another fixture anyway this week against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so done that KDB for Maguire 3-0, but now it looks like Maguire's injured. He limped off today. He got -1 yellow card. Was it yellow card? Yeah, yellow card.
Yeah.
And Mendy got 6 for a penalty save. What was Aguero doing there?
He's had a mirror, hasn't he?
Trying to do trying to do another Aguero, isn't he, to seal the league. It would have been 2-0 if he scored.
Yeah, game over at that point probably as well.
Yeah, and Wan-Bissaka got me an assist, that 5 points. Azpilicueta got me assist, 5 points. Chilwell didn't play, as I said. Bruno, you said Fernandes.
Yeah,
got a goal. Mahrez was on the bench, so I left him in. Mount wasn't in the squad, but he'll have another game. I would imagine he'll play against Arsenal.
Yeah, you think he'd start there, won't you?
Yeah. And I left Harry Kane in. I thought about it. I was tempted to bring Cavani in for the 3-for-1, but I'm just a bit weary of Harry Kane. You know, he can just bang a hat-trick against anyone.
Yeah.
So, didn't do it in that team. I did do it in other teams, but I didn't do it in that one.
You had Rashford, though, in this team.
Yeah.
I think if you already have the United forward.
Yeah, and he got...
There was no need to go Cavani, was there?
Yeah, there probably wasn't no need to be rash. Because then, once you've transferred out Kane and De Bruyne, that's 2 of your transfers gone, and then you've only got 3 left. You're going to want to get them back in, aren't you, at some point?
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to do too many transfers in this team.
I mean, definitely De Bruyne. I mean, with Kane, do you think it's going to be tricky wanting to put him back in with the amount of games he's got compared to others?
Yeah. Well, he's got Wolves, Villa at home, and then Leicester away. And I think he's got 2 hat-tricks against Leicester in the past. All he scores against Leicester. So, be wary of that. I think I might bring him back in.
Has he got one eye on the Euros, though?
Yeah, that's true. I was going to keep an eye on him. I don't know. Might bring him back in for Wolves. Sorry, I'll say I might bring him back in. Like
in the other
teams.
teams.
Other teams, yeah. I've still got him in this one. What else? Salah got 5 for an assist, and Rashford got star man today. Nicked it off Greenwood, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
Not happy.
Greenwood got taken off too early, so who scored took it off him.
He did, but again, hopefully that means he's starting next game. Manage his minutes.
Yeah. What about you?
Go on, James. Let's have a gander at yours, mate.
37 points. It's been a topsy-turvy weekend, really, because at one point I was 600 odd, and now I've slipped back to 800 something.
Yeah.
My original plan was to get rid of Azpilicueta and bring in Trent. But when I saw KDB wasn't playing and chatting with you guys, I just thought, well, we don't know how long KDB's out for, do we? For a start. No. I noticed the Flower Pot Man said on Twitter that he saw at the end of the Champions League game that KDB had ice pack on his leg.
Yeah.
So I ended up bringing in Trent for KDB. So I'm 8 points up there, which is good. I've also got and the other fortunate thing is not getting rid of Azpilicueta. He got 5 points from a bit of a fortunate assist, really. So I wasn't expecting any points from him, and that's worked out quite well for me, really. Mendy got the penalty save like he did for you boys. What a penalty that was, eh? I got 7 points for me and Acho. Not sure whether to keep him going forwards or not, because Leicester's fixtures are getting a bit tough now. Yes, it's not a bad week. 37 points. Still players to play.
Yeah, it's a long week. Long week, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm annoyed Rashford stole Greenwood's star man at the death today because there's so many people who've got Rashford,
Yeah.
including Mick Byram, who I had overtaken in the Dream Team Tonic League, but now we're neck and neck again. So there you go.
Yeah, it's favoured the Rashford owners there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, with me having Greenwood, it's a bit disappointed in this team. But yeah, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. Like you say, went off a little bit too early and just can't hold the points. It's a bit of a frustration in it. Right, let's jump off our teams and go to a few listener questions. Ollie Stockdale's been on. I know we were obviously back and forth a little bit on Twitter with his team, A's and B's and choices here, there, and everywhere. He made 4 subs. He were obviously 4 out of the 5 straight off the bat. Which his question is, he's had another week of disappointment. His rivals increased his gap to 69 points. He's only got 1 transfer left. Does he save it? I mean, I'll jump in first. I mean, the transfers he's made are probably going to try and help him climb. With 1 transfer left, I don't think you're going to be able to make much difference. I think you're probably better off holding that maybe to transfer someone in towards the latter part of the seasons or cover an injury. I think now basically you've got to hold your hands together and pray that your 11 is going to outscore his 11 by more than 69 points, Ollie. I don't think there's much more you can do. It's out of your hands now. You've made the subs and that's it. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good assessment, Tony. The only other thing you could do is bring in a Hail Mary player, but 69 points. I mean, that's some ask, isn't it? I can't think of any what you might call sleeper players that will suddenly come alive for those last 3 or 4 games. 69 points with 1 transfer. If you're banking on that one guy to bridge that gap, then I think that's a big ask. Like you said, he's made some good transfers there. I like all of them. I know he did bring in Maguire. He might need that transfer to get rid of Maguire yet because he did come off injured. So I would don't jump the gun. Let's see what happens with Maguire. Maybe save that transfer for a bit later, like you said, Tony.
Yeah. Go on, Ben. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. Not much to say from my part. You've covered it basically.
Not much to add.
Yeah.
It's a bit when the transfers are there, aren't they? You've made the right transfers.
Yeah.
Whether they can bridge that gap, let's just wait and see.
He's gaining.
Save your transfer.
He's gaining on all them transfers with fixtures.
Definitely.
Well, Maguire's got 3 for 2 against Target. Havertz has got 2 to 1 against Mount.
Yeah.
Cavani has 3 for 1 against Kane, and Fernandes has 3 for 1 against Lingard. So we'll see what happens by the end of the week. You might be winning. Might have caught up.
Yeah. You don't know, do you? Might be a different question by next week. Yeah. Like you say, you've increased your chances by increasing the fixture count of the players. So we'll have to wait and see with that. Here's a big debatable question. Love this one. I love this one, isn't it? Alan Tattle has been on. Is it time to take out Kevin De Bruyne? Because he's not scoring much these days. Go on, Ben. Straight to you, mate.
Well, the first game, isn't it? Next week, Man City's playing Newcastle away.
Yeah.
We'll see the lineups for that game. If you've already got Kevin De Bruyne in your team and he isn't in the starting lineup for City, could be a point to jump off. But I don't know what your midfield's like, so I can't comment who to bring in. But yeah, he is starting to miss a lot of games, which is annoying. He should come back in for the Chelsea game, shouldn't he, the final? But they've basically got the title tied up now, haven't they? So he doesn't really need to play every game. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Go on, James.
Well, if you look at it from a stats perspective, KDB's averaging 2.2 points per game in the last five. That has slightly improved in the last three with 2.7 points per game, but it's still nothing like Amar. Mahrez has outperformed him by a country mile.
Yeah.
It's not the sort of returns that we're used to with KDB, and he is important to that side. They've wrapped up the title. Pep's going to be keeping him wrapped in cotton wool for that final, I imagine. If there's any doubt, he's not going to play, is he? And he's not going to play every game. Um, Once that title's wrapped up, which will be very soon, I'm sure. Um, yeah, they can afford not to play him in too many minutes. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. That said, it's KDP,
Yeah.
and I got rid of him this week. But I don't know. I'll tell you what, it did take a lot of. I did it with 1 minute to spare.
Yeah. You didn't have
Because
much
I
time
was
to do it, did you?
sorry.
You didn't have much time to do it. You only had an hour to decide what you want
Yeah,
to
I
do.
know. I was agonising over it. We can't get rid of KDBs. He can explode any minute, and he might well do that.
Yeah.
But his recent form doesn't. He's not living up to it, is he? His price tag.
Yeah.
No, he's not. My view is, if there's ever a time to take out KDB, if there ever is one of them, it was this week, especially with him not starting and looking forward, like you say, James. Is Man City's eyes now are on this Champions League final. Pep, City, all they want to do is win this Champions League finally, get a Champions League trophy under the belt, and he is pivotal to that. If they want to beat Chelsea in that final, I think Kevin De Bruyne is probably one of the most important players.
Yeah.
So, are they going to be? Is he going to be risked? I know they want to keep him match fit, so I think he still will get minutes. But again, I think when players have an eye on a different game, I think we touched about Kane having an eye on the Euros because there's not much to play for at Spurs. I think these players, they back out of challenges. They don't quite put that extra in, that extra bit of that extra yard that might get you a goal or get you an assist. I think a lot of players are guilty of that. I think if there's ever a time to take out KDB, it was this weekend. We'll see. Like Ben said, the lineup against Newcastle on Friday is going to be interesting. I mean, if he's not in the lineup, would you say get rid? Or do you think he's going to get rested? He'll be playing the next game.
If you've got plenty of transfers, it's worth taking him out.
Yeah, and it's exactly the reason. Like at the start, start of this weekend, everyone's got 5 new transfers.
Yeah,
I think it's not a no-brainer because you might be using a second transfer to bring De Bruyne back in, especially towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
When it comes to that final, but when you've got that many transfers, I just think it were a little bit easier than whatever it would be to take KDB out. I think, would you both agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sums it up.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, though. It's a tricky one. Because like Jim says, if he gets minutes, he can score, he can bang.
And if you've already taken him out this week, you're going to bring him back in on Friday if he's in the starting lineup, probably. What do you think?
Yeah, he'll scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
You were sat there looking at that lineup against Newcastle and thinking, Jesus Christ, how many points is he getting in this game?
The other thing to bear in mind is it's down game week 24 since he got a haul more than 8 points. So in game week 24, I think he got 13 or 14 points. Ever since then, he's if you look at the games that he's played, he's not played, or he gets the occasional 8 points, but nothing more than 8 points. And it's not every other game. It's not every game. It's sort of spread about.
It's a great shout, there, James.
No consistency.
Yeah, and we're going into game week 33 now, so
yeah, that's a cracking shout. And if you want to compare that back to your transfer made, so you took out De Bruyne, same as me, put in Trent. So you've got your 8 points, and now you've got another game for Trent. Yeah, we're a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously it's easy to say that after a Liverpool clean sheet, but obviously you're less threatened. Like I say, he's not hauled double digits since game week 24.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Long
Maybe
time that.
maybe it's not that scary. Be an interesting one. Obviously, a lot of people will have kept him. Same with the Kane decision. I think they're probably a 50-50 split. A lot of people getting rid for the United assets, but yeah, there you go, man. I think we discussed that. Is it time? Is it not? I think it probably was last week.
Here's one for you.
Go on, Ben.
Here's one for you. Mane has got more points than Kevin De Bruyne now.
Hasn't he?
Did you know what I
I
said?
mean, that's a
He's
crazy
trapped
start.
up, hasn't he?
5 points more.
That's crazy.
Mane, whenever he
Yeah.
How many's
gets a goal,
Dallas
he
on
gets
then?
man of the match, doesn't he? Oh, don't start with Dallas.
Yeah.
Scored again, didn't he?
He did. Be interested to see what he's on in Dream Team.
I wonder what he must be one of the highest.
Obviously, he's such a great asset in other fancy football formats. But yeah, let's jump across to Fergie's apprentice, who's he put in Cavani and Maguire. He's obviously got him closer. Is it time to hold, or should he swap Son for Werner? And should he keep Kabak? Kabak is pretty much your domain. That James, what's
Yeah.
there?
So Kabak has a muscle injury. They're not sure how bad it is yet at the moment. So yeah, Fergie's apprentice is gonna have to keep an eye on Kabak. Keep an eye on the team news for that one. Klopp's saying he could be out for weeks, but it could be days. So that it's completely up in the air at the moment. I doubt he'll play the next game. Might get some an update near the weekend or something before the transfer. So keep an eye out for the team news for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll fight. We can't do anything until Sunday against West Brom next Sunday. So you might be back in by then, and then he's got Burnley after that, and then Palace. So I'd just keep an eye on it, like you say. And Son, does he mean take Son out for Werner?
I think that's what he's saying.
Right.
I'm not sure I'd do that.
I wouldn't do that. With Tottenham, have got a double game week next week. They've got Wolves at home and Villa at home, and then Leicester at the end. Last game of the season away. Werner seems to be getting goal involvements all the time. He must be on about 30 goal involvements now. But in the who scored, they don't seem to give him the 7+ rating. So he got an assist against City at the weekend and still only got 2 points. So he's not one of the darlings of the game. I wouldn't be bringing him in.
No,
I think
go on, James.
I was going to say I think you get penalised for missing big chances, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's probably not helping Werner's case when it comes to the 7 ratings.
Yeah, definitely. Their algorithm, he just doesn't fit into, does he? Whether it's losing the ball, or other things that he's doing, he does some things really good. Others he doesn't fit into that 7+ category.
Yeah,
that they want.
I just looked there at the fixtures, and if he wanted to do a transfer to get rid of Son, which I wouldn't anyway, but you probably better bringing in Aguero against Newcastle on Friday.
Do you not think Aguero's on the naughty step now?
Yeah.
After the Pineka?
What was he doing?
Yeah, you can imagine that. You can imagine him not making another appearance now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he scores that penalty. It's sewn up in it.
Yeah.
They're done. They've got the title. They're 2-0 up. You can't see Chelsea probably aren't going to score, come back from there. I think they just controlled the game from there, City. Chelsea come back well in second half. They look really good second half.
Yeah.
Not take anything away from them. It was a bit disjointed from City. It was a decent game to watch. To be fair, it was all right. Yeah, Werner. God, yeah. Touching him after, I think. Even they did that without obviously Mason Mount. Watching though, Kante, how good were Kante?
Legend.
I don't know if you watched the game. He's just so good, so good.
Well, don't upset Ben. We know he probably misses me.
Hey,
Mate, I tell you what, he must do.
wait, if we didn't break that team up, we would have won the Champions League this year. Kante,
you might well have done,
Kante won the semi-final, didn't he, against Madrid, and Mahrez scored the goals against PSG.
Yeah.
It's true, mate. Got some great players. But yeah, Kante, he's on another level. Another level. Anyway, right. Is he back top of the league, Fergie?
Yes.
I believe he is, yeah.
Happy days. Do you know, I thought we jinxed him other week.
That
So
did
I'm
cost
glad,
one, though.
I'm glad he's sat back at top. Anyway, he's got a question. With the Champions League final likely being a cagey affair, as we've probably seen at weekend, are we overestimating how many points will be scored in that game? And are there better opportunities to try and score heavy points? Go on, James, straight to you with this one, mate.
Oh, it's a tricky one, that. Yeah.
Get that fixture ticker up, mate.
Hey?
Get that fixture ticker up and have a look.
These sorts of games do tend to, I think Fergie's right. I mean, they do tend to be quite tight, and there may not be a lot of points going around. I mean, there's a psychological aspect here, though, isn't there? Where you want to be going into that Champions League final, the last game of the Dream Team calendar. You don't want to be going in with hardly any players, do you?
Yeah.
There may well be better opportunities elsewhere. If you look at the fixture ticker, there's plenty of teams with maybe one less game that have some plum fixtures. What do you think, Ben? Are there any teams in there that don't that are, say, on fourth, one less fixture, that where you could pluck a player that's going to be outside that usual top, the usual big six, or the team with players that are playing in Europe?
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like Everton's got a plum fixtures next week. They've got Sheffield United and Wolves at home. You've got Calvert-Lewin could bang against Sheffield United, get a hat trick maybe. But I don't know. Like Man City's got 4 games after this next game week starts, and Chelsea's got 4. So they've got more than United and Liverpool, Tottenham, Leicester. Everyone else really. Don't know. It's tough.
If you look at, go on, Ben. Sorry.
Go on. You go say what you're going to say.
Well, no, I was just going to say, you've got to start thinking about motivation at this stage of the season, haven't you? And you could look at like what West Ham you'd think would be motivated, but they've only got 3 fixtures. So, would you really put in a player with 3 fixtures over one with 4 or 5 at this stage of the season? I mean, Antonio could bang quite heavily with Brighton away, West Brom away, and Southampton at home, but it's just those extra fixtures, isn't it? It feels a risky move.
He won't play half of them games with Weetabix legs.
Yeah, to be fair, he'd probably be injured for half of it.
But by the time we hit Friday, we're going to be looking at everyone has 3 fixtures then from there, aren't we?
Apart from City and Chelsea.
Apart from City, Chelsea and United.
United will have 3
We've
left.
all got a European final.
Yeah, but United have got 3 games this week. So
So they'll only have the 3. So there's just City, Chelsea that have that extra game, which is obviously against each other. So then when you look at what James has just said about the motivation, so you've got West Ham obviously trying hard. Obviously they lost today, so it isn't great for them, but trying hard to get into that 4th spot or into at least into Europe. You've got
Liverpool
who need to win every game. And their 3 games are West Brom, Burnley, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I think if you were to take a punt and just separate it, we go Liverpool against them three teams: West Brom, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and then you go Chelsea, Leicester, Aston Villa,
City.
and then Man City.
Mm.
And then bear in mind, against Aston Villa, they might already have their position in the league sewn up,
Yeah.
and they're going to rest for the Champions League final. So they might only have 2 fixtures plus a final against City.
Mm.
So all of a sudden you're dropping them back down to 3 games
Yeah.
anyway. So then you compare that with Liverpool's 3 games, which they're going to play the full strength team. So you're going to get Salah playing, Mane, Jota, Firmino, Trent, Robertson, all the likes, guaranteed to play.
Yeah.
I think when you start dissecting it a little bit like that, I think that's why it's been a little bit easier to move away from De Bruyne this week, because the rotation is going to be crazy. You look at that City side that played at weekend. It's they were a bit of a shadow, weren't it?
I would have thought someone like Mane would play all 3 of those fixtures, for instance.
Yeah.
And he has got a couple of goals in the last 2 or 3 games. So,
Yeah.
someone like that could outscore quite easily those players with the extra fixture.
Yeah,
Loves the
definitely.
star man as well, Mane.
Yeah.
But on the other hand is what James said, like, you do want to have a few players for them fixtures, don't you?
Well, yeah.
But I think naturally you will. Naturally, we're still going to have some City players, United players, Chelsea players for them finals.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at opportunity outside of them finals, I think there's a lot of it. There's a lot of West Ham's fixtures. Brighton, I know Brighton are quite solid. West Dunk's out suspended now though. That could be one that throws something into the mix. West Brom, Southampton. West Brom relegated, Southampton a little bit leaky at back. There's opportunities, isn't there?
Hey, Tony, Everton's
Yeah.
still in a shout getting Champions League as well after their win today.
They are now after that result today, yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like you say, Sheffield United, Wolves at home, Calvert-Lewin, a nice finish today. City, their last game. If they were playing a City reserve side, yeah, they could probably do them. Everton. There is a lot of opportunity in it. I think, yeah. It's the question: would you rather have a decent lead, 20, 30 points, or 20 points going into that last game, but then not many players playing, or would you rather have a deficit to overcome, but you've got 4 or 5 players in that final, and your rival doesn't? Which end would you rather be?
I'd rather have the points on the board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where the question leads to. Where is Liverpool probably is the way to go? When I look at that fixture ticker,
Yeah.
I see Liverpool.
Mind you, just to caveat that slightly, watching Liverpool at the weekend. If Kabak's out, they don't look quite as solid, and they didn't look that solid anyway.
Yeah.
And they aren't blowing. We can't put the ball in the net. We're creating reams and reams of chances, but people, we're only. I know we won 2-0, but I can tell you it was a hard fought. We're not blowing teams away like we used to. So
Yeah.
I would urge, despite what we've just said, I would urge a little bit of caution there. It could backfire. I hope it doesn't, because we need to win all the rest of the games to give ourselves a shout for that Champions League spot. But I'm not sure I'd bring in another Liverpool defender, for instance, because if Kabak's out, we've got that young Williams in there who's still learning his trade, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. What do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, right.
Covered it all?
Yeah. I agree with all that. I just hope that Liverpool don't pick them points up. we need that Champions League spot. We've been sat up there for 2 years and we still can't get Champions League.
Yeah. If there's ever a team that deserves it, it's Leicester, isn't it? You didn't sign off to go to some European Super League, did you?
No.
No, you wanted to play Champions League, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right, we've got another question from FPL Toad in the Hole. A lot of our teams are loaded up with City and Chelsea players. Is it time to unload or keep? We'll take that across to you, Ben.
Well, the City players are getting rotated, aren't they? So there is a chance to get rid of some City players. But obviously, you only got 5 transfers, so you can't go mad.
Yeah.
Chelsea players have still got everything to play for in the league to get Champions League. It's not tied up yet. You can still drop out, but I doubt it. Well, they've got Leicester on next Tuesday after the FA Cup game, and then Villa, and then City in the Champions League. Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't be jumping off the Chelsea players as much as the City players at the minute. But no, I don't. Nah.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Tricky one, yeah. What do you think?
Because I think you're probably looking like you take any of them out, you're thinking that you want them back.
Yeah, for the last game.
So you're going to be stuck if you've got a team full of City and Chelsea. It's a little bit like what we did this week and take KDB out just to maximise a few fixture with the United players and other such. I think that's the way you got to work it.
Yeah.
On a game by game, week by week. Do you reckon, James?
Yeah, I think you can't just say start getting rid of City or Chelsea. I think you need to take it on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you see one's not starting, Andy's been prone to rotation anyway, and and he's underperforming, and yeah, by all means, switch him for someone else. But I don't think you can have it's not as black and white as the question may appear. I think it depends on the individual team, and yeah, you can't just say get rid of all your City players. Case by case, it's look at your individual teams. I'd say.
Yeah, it's tough as well. This because next week City and Chelsea have got double game weeks. So if they're not in the team for the first game and not in the squad, then they're only going to have one game, aren't they?
Yeah, they're probably
possible game
next.
with the Brighton game. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tricky. If you're looking for more like cemented options, you're looking at Liverpool United.
Yeah,
because their players are probably going to play more often than the City and Chelsea players are going to get. But again, you can't just jump off them. It's got to be case by case, as James says. Look at it, see how many games they've got. Are they starting? Are they not? Are they likely to start midweek? Are they going to get one game out of 2? Got to look at all them different little bits of info. Then make your mind up. Our mate Aman Tatler's on again. He's here. He's popped another question in. What's gone wrong with Slabhead? He's been rubbish for a while. What's gone on with Maguire, lads? Go on, let's discuss him. Go on, James.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily Maguire. I think it might be his colleagues that are letting him down. Like Lindelof for that Villa goal today. I mean, yeah, he was a poor defending. So I don't think it's necessarily Maguire. I think it's possibly more his colleagues. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, it's not really him, really, is it? He loves getting the points in Dream Team, Maguire, but he hasn't been getting them lately, has he? I still think if he's fit, I'd keep him in definitely.
Another yellow card today, which was annoying.
Yeah.
He's usually a darling, and he usually, even if it's like with United's victory today, I know they didn't get a clean sheet, but he usually gets a 3. He usually gets 3 points, and he usually gets a 7 rating. It's tricky. He's not been doing that recently, so I get it. But again, he does all the right things in Dream Team, only for that algorithm. He heads everything, he tackles everything. So he usually, it won't be long before he's back to his Dream Team best, I don't think.
I think if you look at the stats though, Wan-Bissaka's been outperforming Maguire in recent weeks. So what with he was racking up the points, wasn't he, with and getting the 7 ratings and the star men and the odd goal here and there. But Wan-Bissaka's actually been doing better recently.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, he's got 5
tricky
stars.
one. I'm not sure I'd get rid of him yet.
No.
Of all the United back line, I think the biggest threat is Luke Shaw. Again today, he spends half his time in opposition's half. He looks brilliant this season, Luke Shaw. I think we touched on it a good 6-7 weeks ago when we were saying he's probably the best left back in country at the minute. He's back to his best. He looked good again today. It's just the fear of will he be playing every game this week? That's what put me off Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he gets rotated with Tellez, doesn't he? Because he's got a bit of a bad history of injuries.
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to keep him fit. Wan-Bissaka plays every game, doesn't he? And Maguire, I think I heard a stat or something. He's not missed a minute. Not missed a minute of a game until today. He got taken off because he was injured.
Yeah.
So he's nailed in that team. You want players that are nailed, don't you? So
definitely.
I wouldn't be taking him out unless he's injured.
Yeah. Would you be putting him in or?
What, for next week?
Well,
I wouldn't put him in next week if I didn't have him, because he's only got one game next week.
Yeah.
Fulham, Tuesday.
Yeah.
But after that, he's got the double against Wolves and then Villarreal in the Europa League. So that could be a point to get him in.
Yep. Yep. Or other United assets, like defensively.
Yeah.
Wolves.
Mind you, they're not really keeping that many clean sheets, are they? Haven't they got some sort of record this year by going a goal or two behind and then coming back?
Yeah.
So they start games really poorly, and then they seem to somehow turn it round in the second half, which is not great for getting clean sheets, is it?
No.
Oh no. No, not really.
No.
Let's say the fixtures. Can you see? Obviously, Fulham, Wolves, Villarreal. So that'll be after this week's games. I mean, you could probably see a couple of clean sheets there, couldn't you? Fulham and Wolves.
Yeah. Definitely.
Villarreal. I can't swear to know much about Villarreal. I know they got Unai Emery in charge. Arsenal might fancy him. decent manager.
They didn't look that great against Arsenal. It's just that Arsenal were even worse. So
Bad, aren't they?
I'd be strongly favouring Man United, although it's Unai's competition, isn't it? He's won it more than anyone else.
Yeah, it's because he was is it Sevilla?
Yeah, that's right.
Just love it. Love the Europa League.
Yeah,
crazy.
And he got the final with Arsenal the other year, didn't he?
Yeah, it's just his competition, isn't it? Crazy Unai Emery. Right. Anyway, yeah. So there's your
good evening.
Oh, you were funny, weren't you? You're funny like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I'm a little bit disappointed in this. That I'm having to. In fact, no, I'm not. I think we should have someone else read it out because
I think we should read top 15.
just start adding to it.
Yeah.
Just as far down as I am each week. But yeah, I was almost there this week. No, go on. No, I'm sticking to it. I'm going to read it out. Next week, it will be someone else because I will be in that top 10.
Yeah.
So when we go to Mini League, Dream Team Tonic Mini League, top 10. In 10th, we've got Wiggy's Wanderers with Sam Winall. In 9th, Tom Brindley, Leg End 2. In 8th, we've got Hodor FC, Peter Brown. In 7th, The Villains, Wayne Herbert. In joint 5th with Mick Byram and the Trendtenders is Dodgy Sister Athletic, James Fricker.
Up to 5th, 34 points, Dream Team Professor. I'm coming.
He's coming. He's coming. In fourth, Dream Team Professor. He's coming for you. Scott Harris. In third, Ben's DT Tonic 11. Ben Lee. There he is. In second, Fergie time, Andrew Ferguson. And still at the top this week, Lee Allett and the Smoking Guns. Where is this trophy going? 27 points between first and third.
Yeah, it's tight.
It's really tight. Like, still a few weeks to go. Could go anywhere, this. Could go anywhere. I think it's between the three of you. But, yeah. I'll be on there next week. Yeah. Anyway, jump across. Let's do the 1Ks. Transfers in and transfers out. 1Ks is over to you. Top 1K ownership, James.
Right, yeah. So, few extra Man United players on this top 1K list this week, I see. So at the top, Bruno Fernandes, now 99.2% owned. So he's managed to claw an extra percent out. So there must be, what does that equate to? That must be like 5 people don't own him or something.
8 people,
That's
something
nice.
like that.
I'd like to meet those 5 people.
Eight teams.
8 teams.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Harry Kane still in second place, 71.8. Kevin De Bruyne, 70%. Mo Salah, 70%. Ruben Diaz still holding in there with 61%. João Cancelo, 57%. Harry Maguire, 50%. Those are the top ones. I did notice Paul Pogba snuck on the bottom of the list there, obviously for his fixtures this week.
Yeah. Anything stick out there for you, Ben?
No.
Iheanacho,
No.
your mate?
Yeah, he's on there, 20%. No one surprised me on there, really.
No.
What about you?
No, I mean, I think we expected a little bit of a Man United influx with the triple game week. That doesn't surprise you. You've got to try and maximise the fixtures, I suppose, especially this end of the season. Reece James. I mean, we've discussed him, haven't we? And watching him against City, I don't know if you watched the game, but how many of them balls did he put into that box? I mean, it takes me back to if Alan Shearer at Rovers and we had Reece James on right wing, I tell you what, he'd have probably scored another 20. Because they are peaches. He's putting them in. I think one of them they put in, Werner, like defensively headed it back towards the Chelsea goal. I think it was a bit of a laugh between commentators. But if you've got someone like, say, Cavani, a proper goal scorer running on them, I mean, they're doing some damage. Reece James is so impressive. He's got to go to Euros. It'll be a big fight, him and Trent, that right back spot. Obviously, we've still got Kyle Walker, but he really has.
Don't forget our amigo in Spain, Trippier.
Yeah, true. He's doing all right over in Spain, but Reece James, he's got something about him. He's quite a stocky lad. He's not soft. He's tough in tackle, and he's great going forward. What do you reckon, James? Obviously, I know
Wan-Bissaka as well.
Yeah.
You really want my opinion?
Yeah.
I think you're a Chelsea fan. I've just got a feeling that you're a Chelsea fan. You're fucking these Chelsea players up all the time.
Chelsea plug of the
week. I don't know. It's a tricky one. The Burnley Beckham, as they call him, Trippier. He's got a really good delivery on him, hasn't he? Possibly not the best defensively. Trent, obviously, you've asked me because you want my opinion on Trent. I think Trent's the most gifted player. He is a bit suspect defensively. Let's be honest. He does make usually makes a couple of mistakes in every game. Not covering back. I mean, he gets so far forwards, and he does offer a hell of a lot going forwards. but I think he needs to eradicate a couple of mistakes at the back, and that's why Southgate's not picking him. Fantastic player, I love him, but he does have a mistake in him, I'm afraid.
If you were England manager now, who would you put at right back in your team?
Oh, tricky. It really is a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Reece James is quite young still, isn't he?
Yep.
But he's bloody good. I mean, he's got a good free kick on him as well. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen him take a few. I don't know. What do you think, Ben? You're probably a bit less biased than I am.
Well, I think it depends who we're playing. If we're playing like, I don't know, in Trinidad and Tobago or something like that, you play Trent. But if you play in Brazil or France, you play Wan-Bissaka or Walker.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, I mean, he's one on. To be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of Wan-Bissaka. Going forward, he don't really offer too much.
He got assist again this week.
I know, and he can shut you up now and again with one of them, but he seems to get lost up in that half of the field.
Yeah.
But to be fair to him, his one-on-ones, if you put him with a pacey winger, he's better than anybody in the league one-on-one with people. It's unbelievable the amount of tackles he makes. Like, that is really impressive. And I just think that Reece James is the mid-ground between them two.
Yeah.
I think James is right. Trent's probably the most gifted.
Yeah.
Going forward, definitely. Reece James is probably the middle of them two, where he's probably a bit more solid defensively, but he's still got that attacking threat. If you watched it, they ripped him apart on that side of Chelsea. I know Mendy isn't the best left back, but they did a bit of damage down that side. Reece James especially. We're good to watch. Good to watch. And about being a closet fan, if I am a bit of a closet fan, I'm actually a bit of a closet City fan, which my dad hates.
It's all coming out now.
My dad hates it, but yeah, obviously being out at Premier League so long with Rovers and you watch a lot of Premier League football. City is probably the team that I want to win more than anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reece James is, and obviously my mate Mason Mount. I know he didn't play this week, but
Werner.
Still, I'd have had him in my team. Yeah, Werner as well. I've plugged Werner all year. Yeah, they've got a very good basis next year. Chelsea, they'll be a scurry team next year. Couple of additions.
Yeah,
they're really good. But yeah, so on to the most transferred in. Let's see what happened here. I don't think it's much of a surprise that Cavani's sat at number one, but our image shows Havertz. I don't get that. It shows number two Havertz, but I'll have a word with Frank about that. Frank and his graphics at FF stuff. But yeah, so Cavani, 20,000 transfers in, and they'll be happy. He come off the bench and grab the goal. He doesn't need the minutes, Cavani, does he, Ben?
No. Unbelievable. What's he got now? A goal involvement every 90 odd minutes?
It's mental. Crazy.
Yeah, 98 minutes. Mental. 15 goals and 4 assists.
Why weren't teams all over Cavani a few years ago when he came available?
I know.
Could be asking yourself, like, he's a goal scorer. There's many a teams 2-3 years ago, a younger Cavani.
I think they might have been put off by his wages. He was being paid a fortune, wasn't it, PSG? That's the thing.
That's true.
People are like, do we want to bring in an older player on massive wages? It's failed quite a few times with other big name players, isn't it? So people are too scared to do it. But there's no doubt in his top draw player.
Yeah, he always has been. He really is. The more minutes they can get out of Cavani, obviously the better. I think he's probably earned a contract if he'd like to stay there. I think he'd be a big asset even next year for United. If you can throw someone on for 30 minutes every game, who just knows where the onion bag is. He just knows where it is.
Do you know what that sounds like when you said that?
Go on.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer off the bench.
Yeah,
you just throw him on, don't you? And he scores.
It's true. It's true. Well, he made a career out of it, didn't he?
Yeah.
United, yeah. I bet his goal scoring record were phenomenal off the bench for United. Yeah, super sub as it was. In third, we got Mahrez, transferred in. He started on the bench, so it's a little bit of a strange one. But obviously, form wise, he's man of the moment, isn't he? Probably on penalties as well. Even more so now, Aguero wanted to do that with his penalty. So he had nearly 10,000 transfers in. Werner, look at Werner.
That is a shock.
7,500 transfers in. People fancying him. I mean, yeah, got him 2 points, more than what Kane got this week. You wanna start arguing that? I mean, it's true. Bale, obviously after his hat trick in it. 5,600 transfers in. Yeah, is it any surprises further down that list on you for the transfers in? What do you reckon, James?
What about Bell?
No, just any. Is there any names that pop out there?
Oh, I see. Not. No, I can't really see anything on there that's a massive. Well, apart from Werner in fourth is a surprise. Let's be
That's
honest.
massive.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest surprise.
Yeah, I can't see anything else on there really that's
Yeah.
stands out.
I'm a little surprised that people are bringing in City players against Chelsea in a single game week.
Yeah.
Edison,
Yeah.
Diaz, Aguero. Probably they're a bit like they probably got like a emotional connection to Aguero through the years of him scoring so many goals. They're thinking he's going to have a good finish the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Sign
mean, it's
off.
upsetting. It's upsetting seeing Aguero priced at 4 million.
Yeah.
A little bit, isn't it?
He used to be like 8 million, didn't he?
Yeah. It's a little bit upsetting. Anyway, we'll go to the outs. Let's see if there's any surprises up here. Go on, Ben. Run through them, mate.
Right, it got Gundogan, 13,000 transfers out. He's not been doing too good at the moment, has he? He's not been getting involved with the goals.
No.
Rotated. Second is Jota, 8,800 transferred out. What's it been like for you, James? You've been watching Liverpool games.
He's still getting into good positions, getting chances, but he seems to have lost that killer instinct where previously everything he touched was going in, any big chance. But he's still getting good positions. I could see him getting goals before the end of the season. But I can understand why people have got rid of him, especially this week with the law of 3 Man United fixtures.
Yeah, he's got nice fixtures coming up, hasn't he? So he might be one worth keeping hold of.
Yeah.
Next is Lingard. Gone off the boil a little bit now, hasn't he?
Yeah, the Lingard train has started to slow on it.
Yeah. Still got decent fixtures, but it's tough. If you've got him in, maybe it might be worth keeping him now.
Yeah, you wouldn't start removing him now, would you?
No, double game week next week.
Yeah.
Stones, he was out suspended, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He must be back now for the next game.
You'd expect so.
5,000 transfers out. Sterling, about time he scored. 5,000 transferred out.
Yeah, you've got 5,691 people screaming bollocks.
Yeah. What is it? He was about 7.5 million at the start of the season. He's only 4.6 now.
Yeah. He spanked a lot of teams as Sterling this year.
What we got now? We got Jesus. Played but didn't do much, did he? 5,000. Rashford out. He spanked a few people. 5,000. Well, I don't know why they took him out. That is a shock with a triple game week.
Yeah, it's a strange move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really
I know they kept saying, he might be injured, but you just got to wait till the lineups, I think.
Yeah.
Harry Kane, people jumping off him for the triple up on the United, and maybe bringing in a Liverpool striker.
Yeah.
That's 3,000, 4,000 transfers out, and then we got Lacazette, 3,000. De Bruyne 3,000. We were all on that, weren't we? Because of he was not in the team.
Yeah, I mean, how many times are you going to sit here and look at that and see De Bruyne and Kane
Yeah.
both on the most transferred out, and neither of them officially injured?
Yeah.
It's not often. Not often you see that.
Yeah, that's about it. Top 10 or so. Anything on there?
Cancelo,
Yeah.
obviously one of the highest scorers in the game.
Yeah, but he keeps getting rotated, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I can see why they took him out because he's got a single game against Chelsea, and then he probably won't play the next game. I don't know. He might play the league games and not play the Champions League game. It's tough.
Yeah. Alonso there as well. 1,200 people. I mean, did they get caught out by that Chilwell error?
Yeah, I bet it did.
I bet they're fuming. I bet they're fuming. 8 points there.
It looked like he was going to be not used anymore, didn't it? Because Chilwell started playing a lot of the games when you thought Alonso would play.
Did either of you watch the game? Like the City Chelsea?
I did. I had it on, but I was doing other things.
I don't know whether you ever spotted Alonso's positioning.
No, I didn't.
I'll tell you why. West Brom when they won 5-2. I mean, he's not changed much. There were cases in the game where, and don't get me wrong, he's a great outlet, like on that left hand side, Alonso, and he loves to attack. But at some points, he was playing up top.
Yeah.
And you're waiting for that ball in behind onto Man City's right hand side. You're thinking it's going to come, and he's just so gung ho. I don't know if he got license to do that, but if you're his manager and you've not given him license to do that, well, he's an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
You can only get away with that if you're playing free at the back, can't you? There's no way you could play Alonso in a back four.
Oh, absolutely no chance. He's not
Unless
a
you
left
chain
back.
him, unless you chain him to the corner flag.
You'd have to put him on them pegs in middle of the ground, in centre bit of the left back position, and just put him on a lead. He can only go around that circle. Absolutely crazy.
There must have been something dodgy there because if he's seen the lineups and he's seen Cancelo is playing like apparently right-sided defender, and he doesn't stay there, does he? He floats about and he goes in midfield.
It's true.
So he might have gone, right, I'm going to actually change that and put Alonso in, and that's probably why there was a big kerfuffle about who was playing because he was supposed to be Chilwell player, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he might have seen that and gone, Cancelo's playing. I'm going to put Alonso on, and he'll be in all that space down there.
Fighting fire with fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been that. It could have been a tactical move. I mean, it makes sense.
I don't know if they're allowed to do that, though. Are you allowed to do that? You're allowed to change your team?
If they call it an injury.
Yeah. They might have. Yeah, he might have said, "Oh, it's an injury."
Yeah. If it say Chilwell's pulled up with a bit of a tight thigh.
Yeah.
Alonso's going in.
Yeah, it's quite a tricky little tactic, isn't it?
It is. It is. Right, jump off that. Differential league will be updated on Twitter once the game week is finished with the team of the week and the update on the latest league table. Obviously, Ben, you are running away a little bit with it.
I'm in the 200s now, aren't I?
I think this week you've passed into 200s now, haven't you?
Cavani.
Yeah.
3%.
We needed a bigger score, James. We needed a double digit.
I gave you two first choice.
You did, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Need
excuses.
to pull it out of the bag in the next few games.
Yeah, I need a Gareth Bale hat trick or something. That's what I'm after. What was it? A Hail Mary.
Could be the week next week, Bale. Double game week.
You never know. You never
Could
know.
be.
You get the first
They've
choice.
got some nice fixtures.
Yeah.
And he does like scoring against that weaker opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Take him against a weaker opposition.
Flat track bully, they call it, don't they?
Right. If you've not been across the website yet, please get across dreamteamtonic.com. You see the blogs from James and Ben on the dream teams. You see the fixtures from Ben. Really useful going into the last few weeks, following these teams, top players. Reem, Louis, and Max do the FPL blogs. So you play that game, get across and read of them. Reese, Lee, and Steve do a Sky Fantasy Football blog, and Mike does his fan team blog. So we're running a Euro 2020 league in the fan team, and we will drop a link for that below in the description. So if you've not signed up, sign up there, get involved in that. We're all going to be putting aside in that, and we're also going to be running once it's announced in the Sun Dream team Euro 2020. We'll be doing our own mini league in that for a cash league. We'll let you know as soon as we know the details on that, but that should be good. Something to keep us busy, occupied through the summer before the next season. I think we tied everything up tonight, lads.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Should be good. Anything else to add?
Nothing from me.
No.
Happy days. It's been enjoyable, and we'll speak to you next week.
Cheers.
Good night for me. See you later.
Cheers, Tony.
See ya.
Cheers. Bye.